In the newest installment of Ask and Ye Shall Receive, somebody wanted a team with all beasts, so that's what I've got here for you today. Right off the bat, you saw just a quick give up and run, I guess is what you could call it. First match up against Phoenix here. This is a pretty scary front line, TBH, but the Payback Killer luckily is a little faster than Unicera, so I'm able to kill the Dragulus. His Arbustodon doesn't have a target, so I'm not super worried about him, aside from like the catapult. Nixie goes for the knockback there, so I no longer have either of my, like, what are they called? Deer monsters, Sanctistag, and the other one. You know what I'm talking about. Rhinoel kills the Infernocorn when I take off the shield, but Wilhelmina comes in and kills that one box jaw. Things aren't looking great for me right now, although he can't really kill Ursidonis. Unicera, I guess, could kill Gaia Wolf. The Rhinoel gets the turn back from the Grizzleguard, so I Swift Ally substitute the Ursidonis just to get that, what's it called, aggressive entrance again, which I do. He kills the Rhinoel, unfortunately, puts the Box Chomp way out of play. I think his plan is he can keep true hitting and then team turn with the Wilhelmina. Gabrielle isn't super scary. Unicera, aside from the true hit, also not super scary. There's the team turn. He could true hit, but he doesn't. Oh, goes for the detonate. Interesting. So just kills his Gabrielle straight up and puts Wilhelmina to hold ground, right, because Unicera has the instant salvation, and I think he wanted to bring in the Spectre Fox because he saw that I had a Trimagus next in line. I forgot I had Trimagus because this was my first match, or I guess second match technically with this new team. And, you know, he could see it with Arcane Cloud. I couldn't. Here I'm thinking about what I want to do. I decide, like, I need to kill that Ian Rax, but... Right. So I knew I needed to kill the Ian Rax, but I also knew I needed to kill the Penguinator. Penguinator would have gotten a turn because I don't think I would have killed the Ian Rax, so I had to go for the Penguinator. Luckily for me, he had a Centurion next in line, so Arcticlaws and Trimagus both got the turn back, which was great because things would have gone a lot more downhill if he did not have a stun next in line. So that was lucky. And, you know, like, Ian Rex wouldn't have gone to hold ground anyway with HP boost hitting element disadvantage. He decides to kill off his Unicera there. Sir Lancerat can't do much, really. Centurion could Night Watch or Counter Strike. Luckily for him, he's got a Spectre Fox on the field when Husking comes in. The tricky thing about this team is that there are, like, no beasts that can remove monsters on your side of the battlefield. Show of Power is, like, one of the only skills, at least in monsters I have. So, like, I had to make sure that every monster I put in this team was going to be useful, like, throughout their entire life. And using Husking, Show of Power, second form, he's bad. Like, 10 seconds? Putting the enemies back 10 seconds? I don't know. It Husking, not great. But here, I'm scared because I know Solancerat's going to come in and he's going to Whiskered Warsea or whatever that skill is. Going to put me pretty far out of play. Luckily for me, my Poloboss is not under the Mushroom Nico buff. He actually decides to go for the Spored Pierce, which is fine by me. I kill the Spectre Fox so that I can stun the Centurion because he's got Red Blood Crave. Wilhelmina's already used her team turn, so aside from those single hit moves, she's not going to be doing much. Now I know my Poloboss is safe. Just got to keep him alive. He Spored Pierces the whoever that guy is, the Hedgehog. Now I do the Spirit of Spore, so as soon as my guy comes in, I'll be able to Whiskered Warsea again. Prison Paw does have the bear buff because I've got Poloboss, so I decide to go for... I think I just go for the... Oh no, I do Rainbow Love on the Centurion, because I know he's going to die before he gets another turn. I come in, thought about the Whiskered Warsea, which I do, push the enemy back a little bit. Luckily for me, that pushed Lancerat back far enough for Prison Paw to get a turn before him. And finally, with this Spored Pierce, we're going to clean up this first match. It was a close one, but it was fun, and it worked out for me. Next one, up against TDN Midas. I don't know why it said lose and rank down, because I'm in Grand Champion, so I don't really think you can rank down from Grand Champion, but I don't know. I could be wrong, I guess. He can't true hit, but he could sneak attack, so we'll see what he goes for. He decides to skip, which is fine by me. Lets me knock back the Tenguko. I wasn't really ready to to deal with her, and because the Abyss Soldier has another one, he doesn't have the attack buff, so that's not going to kill a defense buff Sheikah Bloom, unfortunately for him. His Soul of Vengeance does go around and kill my Sheikah Bloom, unfortunately, and now Carmilla is able to Vigor Heartburst. I think I go for the Payback Killer a second time. It does go around, kills his Carmilla. Shield Dragon could do really whatever he wants. He's a target for Speed Ravage, but I don't think I want to kill him yet. I guess I do just go for... No, I go for the Chimunka. Great. That puts Ursidonis and Tricranium to sleep. I pull back the Ursidonis again. He could Vengeance, I suppose, which he just skips. Shield Dragon. Focus Energy Burst doesn't quite kill Rhinoel, but he does get that Piercing Blow off the Box Chomp to bring in my Ursidonis again. Now he could kill the Rhinoel or the Ursidonis with a Soul of Vengeance. That'll bring in my Grizzleguard. He does. Kills the Rhinoel. I go for an Accelerate. Not much I could do. I guess I could have killed Shield... No, I didn't want to kill Shield Dragon because I wanted Grizzleguard to grab that kill on Shield Dragon, hoping to get a double Blood Crave off. At this point, just praying for Tricranium to wake up. I kill his Poseidon because I've got that Trimagus next in line. Zealous Attack doesn't quite kill the Flutterdrake Azure. He can now kill Grizzleguard, which he should do because Grizzleguard's about to get a turn with double Blood Crave. I thought about what I want to do here. I was like, I could Skyfall, I could Taunt, but I think I do just want to kill the Mantis Samurai, so I go for it. Don't want to Guardian Execute because I have the Gaia Wolf on the field, so I can Payback Revenge his Tortogeist. Rune Conqueror, Dragon, sorry, whoa, can kill anybody, but that's going to kill himself with the Karma Chain. Griff King, I suppose, is a little bit of a threat, but I have plenty of time to take care of him. This Box Chomp, he goes for the Piercing Blow, which kills himself off with the damage, the recoil. Tardy Grenade gets put to hold ground. Tricranium eats that Frozen Revenge, which is fine. I Counter Slash, because I knew Arctic Claws would get the turn back, and Tricranium is stun immune. Counter Slash again, Counter Slash again. We kill his Orca and his Tenguko. Box Chomp here could do anything. He decides to take the Stealth off. And I get the turn back with Ursidonis. I go for the Speed Ravage on Tricranium, but it just hits a Rockoid. I've got a ton of monsters left. He's got 5. Granted, if he gets Emoji Mohazi off and Tricranium is loaded, things could be kind of scary, but not super scary. He gives me one. I guess, I don't know, maybe... Not sure why, actually. But I just send back the Arctic Claws, bring in the Husking Entrance. He could Moji Mohazi now, but luckily that Sleep Revenge from Chimunka puts Moku to sleep. So I Show of Power the Spikiest Blaze. So Lancerat comes in. No point in Spirit of Sporing because I still have a bunch of monsters at the end of this team. And he just gives up. There wasn't much he could do from there on. And moving on to this final battle against Willoughby. I can Payback Killer the Night Hunter immediately. Luckily for him, though, the Lava Entrance takes the Knight Rider a little bit off of full health, so he can do that Overwatch Life Flip. The Protector Killer kills my Sanctus Stag, and he's able to kill my Sheikah Bloom. The Ursidonis Entrance does give Knight Rider a turn back, but then luckily, very luckily for me, the Gaia Wolf Death Revenge hit the Angel Lion, so that the stun from Trimagus was able to activate. There, I go for the Protect with Grizzleguard. Virus Dragon Zeta could, I don't know, hit Trimagus, or decides to go for the Grizzleguard with Terminal Virus so that the Box Chomp will finish it off, which I think fair enough. I decided to Time Strike double the Knight Rider and Lava Entrance guy, which in hindsight was not a smart move at all. They were both pretty far out of play. He could swap for Helper for a Nereida with his Lyra. And now I'm kind of worried because I thought about... I mean, I can't do anything with that Shinobi Dragon yet. Lyra, there's no way I can stop. The Ursidonis, I could have killed Nereida with Speed Ravage, but instead I decided to go for Zeta. I don't know if that was the right play. But Shinobi Attack kills Trimagus. I think I go for the double Hellfire Mortar here. It's not going to kill Lyra, and I should have known that. But I do take the stealth off Shinobi Dragon, although Nereida now just has the Sleep Bomb, which of course she's going to do. Brings in his own Huskegan, who can't really do much. I think he goes for Ally Substitute, on Shinobi Dragon. So that blocks his Raw Blood Crave, but does allow Shinobi Dragon to get another stealthy entrance. And he decides to kill the Ursidonis with Goldoid. I don't know if that was the best play, because now I can bring in 2 of my monsters, so it's back to a 2-on-2, and one of his is a Goldoid. And my Husking's got Raw Blood Crave charged, but his Show of Might there. Like, even Awakened Huskegan, that only pushed us back, like, what is it, 40 seconds or something? I don't know. I remember Huskegan being a lot better than he seems to be now. He decides to kill off his own Lyra to get another Mugong, which actually is kind of smart because he had already done one of the, what's it called, Mermaid Hexes. So the second one makes sense. Might as well get rid of her then. Tenebris, I tried to take the stealth off of, but his Goldoid blocked it. I go for the Spored Pierce there because I have the seconds and I want to kill him next turn. That sleep luckily kept my Poloboss alive. That was the scariest thing. I had to stun the Dreadmoth because he could kill Poloboss, and at this point Poloboss is kind of my win condition. So we're charging him up now. One more hit is going to kill that Shinobi Dragon. Not quite going to kill the Dreadmoth though because of his defense buff, but like one more hit is going to kill the Dreadmoth. I'm not scared of his not evolved Arbustodon Treewill. The Shinobi Dragon again gets a lucky sleep, but for me, luckily, doesn't hit the Poloboss. His Huskegan can't Raw Blood Crave yet. I tried to hit him with the Crescendo Strike, but the Goldoid blocked it again. So now he could Raw Blood Crave my Poloboss, except there's no way that he's able to kill the Poloboss. Not sure why he didn't Hellblast the Poloboss there, unless I had already protected with the Mugong. But with the Bear buff, Prison Paw is not going to die to his Raw Blood Crave. Luckily, my Crescendo is doing enough to put his Prison Paw down to hold ground. At this point, I just Yellow Punch, kill the Goldoid, bring in his Lionheart. I'm not super worried because I've got a Poloboss that's like destroying people. I go for the Spirit of Spore just because I have the time. But he's got not much. That Terraling at the back isn't going to do much. Treewill isn't going to do much. So that wraps up this battle, and that's going to wrap up this video. All beasts. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was a fun team, and I will see you all in the next video.